Hey everybody. So I decided that it is a little bit past due of talking about my labor and delivery story. So let's see. The twins are 15 weeks and 2 days today, which is crazy. It's hard to believe literally 15 weeks ago that I was 58 and a half inches around, which is crazy. Um, I'm still not back into my old, well, I'm back into my old jeans, but I have this like extra skin, which sucks. Yeah, not too happy about the body right now. Kind of depressing, to be honest with you. Um, but anyway, so um, let's see. On January 5th, 2011, it was about, let's say, I have exact times in my head. I just have to remember which is which. Um, my husband and I were going to bed, and we had just watched something on our laptop, like we usually do, either The Simpsons or Futurama or something like that. Um, and at 11:54, I turned over, and no, at 11:53, I turned over, and I started consistently hearing and feeling growling noises coming from my belly, and it was kind of like, and I'm talking consistent, like every 2-3 seconds. And my husband says, "Is that your stomach?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did you eat today?" I said, "You're kidding me, I'm pregnant. Of course I ate today." So we thought nothing of it. And literally about a minute later at 11:54, um, I heard a pop and felt a pop. And then I felt a gush. Like I'm talking someone poured warm water in my lap type gush. No mistake in that at all. And I kind of, I felt the pop. It felt like Logan, who was baby A, that was, close to my cervix, was dancing on my bladder, of course, and my cervix as well. It felt like a big, big, big kick. But obviously it was different because it was followed by a rush of water. Um, so I immediately preceding that, it was 11:56 when I finally got up. So it was 2 minutes. I'm laying in bed and I'm kind of holding my legs together, like, okay, maybe I peed. I'm like, I look at Chris, like Chris is behind me. He was holding me from behind me. I look at him, I'm like, I think I just peed the bed. And he's like, what? I said, and then I turned a little bit and then it gushed again and I know I didn't pee. And I said, nope, no, I think my water just broke. Yep, yeah, my water just broke. And he goes, wait a minute, what'd you say? What? I said, my water just broke. What? Really? Yeah, really, we gotta do something. We gotta go. We gotta go now. Um, Thankfully I had been packing my bag for a while and it was, pretty well packed. All I had to do was put like slippers in it or something like that. I don't remember. But 11:56, I finally got up off out of the bed with help from Chris because I was huge and I couldn't get up or turn by myself at that point at all. I was in such pain; it was ridiculous. By the end of the pregnancy, um, so I got up and I immediately started trembling, like I'm talking shaking, violently, violently shaking, to the point where I thought I was either having a seizure or I was going into shock. That was how bad I was trembling. Um, it was kind of like my whole body was shaking. My hands, I couldn't, like it was bad, horrible. Um, so I went into the bathroom and I waddled down the hallway with a trail of water following me. I sat on the toilet and I kind of just let it go. It just poured and poured and poured and poured. And I felt my stomach get hard and I saw my stomach get smaller. And I was like, holy shit, this is happening. Um, so then by then it was a little bit after midnight and it was January 6th. So I called the doctor. Um, and I called the doctor. I said, Doctor, I on-call doctor called us back, who was Dr. Robinson, who had been one of my gynecologists shit since I was like 15. So it was kind of cool that I got her. Um, so I called, and she was the on-call doctor. She called us back, and I said, I think my water just broke. And I described the symptoms. She goes, all right, well, I'll meet you there. Okay, click. I turned to Chris. I'm like, meet us where? And he's like, the hospital. Oh, oh, okay. So, in the birthing class, they had told us, don't rush in. Obviously, if you're having a C-section, they told me not to rush in, obviously. Um, so what I did was take a shower, and at this point, I'm still shaking. I'm talking violently to the point where I could barely stand. It was shaking that bad. So I'm in the shower. I'm trembling, trembling. I look at Chris. He said, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna put your bag in the car. I'm gonna get myself dressed, and then I'll come back up for you. Okay. What are you doing? He said. I said to him. He said the same thing. I said, but you're gonna come back for me, right? I'm sitting there shaking in the shower. I'm terrified. I'm talking terrified, scared shitless at this point. Not for any other reason, but for just, I'm scared that I'm shaking. I didn't know what the hell was going on because it slipped my mind. I forgot to ask her, hey, I'm shaking. What's the problem? But whatever. Whatever. I had seen somewhere on YouTube where some lady got her car ready when her water broke. Which, thank God I actually watched that because it saved my seats because I was gushing some water. Gushing. What I did was I went into I said, Tris, grab a towel, a garbage bag, and another towel. So 2 towels and a garbage bag. So on the seat, before I sat down, I told him, put the towel down first, and then the garbage bag, and then another towel down on the seat because it's going to be horrible. And I had been wearing my velour jumpsuit because that was the only thing at that point I could fit into. I literally have about 5 of those things. Bad. But I lived in them. And they're so comfortable. So if you honestly are pregnant during the wintertime, get some velour jumpsuits. Seriously. Amazing. Sorry, I'm doing all this while my kids are sleeping. See? I have this monitor. It's amazing. Anyway. So, I'm sitting in the car and we're driving on the way there and we decide, and we were also told at our birthing class not to call family members just yet because we didn't want them to rush down there and have to be a false alarm. But there was no freaking way that this was a false alarm because I was gushing water by the gallon. It was ridiculous. I think I'm going to say it was ridiculous about 900 times in this video. This is definitely going to be a 2-parter. I'm sorry, but it's kind of a long-ish story. I'm going to try to get it into one. So we look at each other in the car. I'm still shaking. Let me just put the whole thing. I was shaking the entire time for like a couple days after even. So we're in the car and I look at Chris. I said, do we call our parents? Should we say something to them? And he said, well, they told us not to call, on the birthing class because there could have been a false alarm. And I say, this ain't no false alarm. It's happening today. So we made the decision to call our parents. So I called my parents first. And obviously it was late. So it was after midnight, almost 1 o'clock in the morning at this point. I called my mom and she's like, hello? She picked up the phone, I was sleepy. Hello? I said, Mom? She said, yeah, are you okay? I said, my water just broke. No way. Are you serious? Where are you? Are you driving? I said, I'm okay. Chris is driving. We're on our way to the hospital. If you want to, you can meet us there. If not, we'll call you when we get there or whatever. So we decided to wait and we were gonna call them when we got there. So we then called his parents and said the same thing, and then we called his sister and said the same thing, and everyone was just basically waiting on bated breath just to see if they should leave then or wait for our phone call. So yeah. So we get to the hospital, pull up, and hospital's pretty vacant at this point, which I was surprised. I was kind of waiting to see a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of cars and ambulances and stuff, but it was very docile, very quiet. So we pulled up to the emergency entrance, and a guy runs out because he sees me pregnant as hell. At this point, my pants are soaked from my waist to my knees. I'm talking dripping. Like as I'm walking, I have flip-flops on, and I'm walking with a trail of water following my feet. That's how soaked I was. Yeah. So I put down the towel on the wheelchair, and it was an extra large wheelchair because there ain't no way I could fit in those regular ones at that point. My hips, no way. So the security guy was the one that was wheeling me in, and he looked at Chris. He said, do you want to get your car? Do you want to park your car, or do you want to kind of leave it here and wait? And I look at him, and then he looks at me, and I said, go, I'm going now. I'll meet you inside. So the security guard wheels me in, brings me up to the 6th floor, which is labor and delivery. And I am then put into kind of like a stall which is not like a waiting area, but it's like an office kind of admission area. There you go. And the secretary is basically asking me all these questions, and I'm like, I'm answering to the best of my ability, shaking, talking like this because I can't. It's horrible. It was bad. So finally, my husband comes, which was, it seemed like forever, but it was only like a minute and a half because he was panting because he ran upstairs. And he didn't have any bags with him. I said, "Where the hell are the bags?" He said, "They're in the car." I said, "Go get the fucking bags." I'm saying this in front of the lady, shaking. Like, "Go get the fucking bags." He says, "No, I'll do it later." I said, "No, this is happening now. Go get them now." So he didn't get the bags yet, obviously. So I checked in, and they wheeled me in. They wheeled me into a room, and they said, "Okay, we're gonna check your cervix and everything, and see where you're at right now, and see where the babies are." And I swear to God, I got like this. What the hell's going on with my face, my hair? I swear to God that I got this kind of like brand new doctor or something like that, because she looked like she was 14 years old. I don't know. It was a whole Doogie Howser syndrome kind of shit going on. I didn't care. Just get the babies out of me. I'm in pain. Get them the hell out. At that point, I wasn't feeling hard contractions, but I was feeling contractions. I did feel my stomach kind of like tensing and then letting go. So I assumed that was contractions, and then I felt my cervix kind of pulsy, I don't know. It was pulsing. That's what it felt like to me. That's all I could describe it. So we got into the room, and the doctor, the ultrasound tech, who was 14, was doing the ultrasound on me to see where the babies were positioned. And I already told her, I said, we were here yesterday. Oh, FYI, we were just at the hospital the day prior. And the day prior, the people actually told me, oh yeah, there's no way you're going to have these babies soon. You're going to go full term. Now, I had been told that this whole pregnancy. The whole pregnancy. People have been telling me, you're made to carry twins. You're supposed to, you're going to go full term, blah, 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 blah. Get out of here. So that's what we were kind of banking on. We were due on February 14th. We were due on Valentine's Day. So we were going to have Valentine's Day babies, but nope. So the ultrasound tech is doing the ultrasound on me, and I already told her we were there the day before, and I told her the position of the babies, just so, she knows, and she knows what to look for. So they were obviously, Logan, who was baby A, was facing my back, and he was breached, and he was basically kind of doing a river dance on my bladder and my cervix the entire pregnancy, and that's what he stayed during delivery as well. Quinn was transverse, so she was this way, and her head was facing out. No. She was facing down towards my legs, with her tummy towards my belly, towards the front. So there was no way in hell I was going to have a vaginal delivery, but I already knew that. I kind of came to peace with that a little while before I had to go in for delivery. Because you probably saw my C-section. What is going on with my hair? My hair, seriously, after I had these babies, horrible. I'm going to push this camera down so you can't see it. It's gross. It's better. Ooh. Anyway. So, where am I? Where was I? Shit. Okay. Ultrasound, found them, transverse, breach. Gotcha. So, they got the anesthesiologist came in, not the anesthesiologist, the lady that was going to do my IV came in, one of the nurses, and I already told her, I was like, "Lady, I have really tiny veins. It's going to be kind of hard for you to get the veins because I'm, gushing water and blah, blah, blah." So she tried my right arm, and it didn't work. She tried my wrist, my hand, and my arm. Didn't work. And I said, the only two places you're going to get this needle in is either my left hand or my left, right here, underneath my tattoo. So that's part one, and I will record part two and then post part two as well. So we're leaving off with the needle in my arm for the IV for a saline solution.